Arena as Morehead State's women's basketball team steps outside of conference play to host Division III Transylvania in a late addition to this schedule in this crazy, wacky COVID world we live in. The Eagles have opened the season with 3 straight losses, including last night's 74-59 defeat at Eastern Kentucky. They're looking to right the ship here tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Dean Harden. My teammate tonight, Brooke Todd, providing analysis. Brooke, let's talk about the keys to the game.
So for Morehead State here tonight, one of their big keys for the game is just play their game. The last couple games they've been playing, outside of their range, and tonight if they attack the glass and really attack the rim, then it'll be their game. For Transylvania, they need to execute, and a lot of things need to go right for them. They're undersized down low, and they just need to execute and do well tonight to compete with the Eagles.
Division I Transylvania, or Division I Morehead State against Division III Transylvania. And like you said, everything needs to go right for them. Those are keys to the game brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Designate before you celebrate, because fans don't let fans drive drunk. Look at the starting lineups for Morehead State. Gabby Crawford, Ariel Kirkwood, Jasmine Elston. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Lauren Carter and LaJana Perry-Ellis. For Transylvania, Zavonia Walker, Grace Shope, Kennedy Stacy, Elizabeth Hardiman, and Kaylin Johnson. The opening tip goes out of bounds, and the officials are immediately trying to figure out where we're going, but it's going to belong to Transylvania. Starting lineups brought to you by Johnston's, the official recognition company of the Ohio Valley Conference.
Dean, we have a lot of Transylvania fans in the house tonight too. It's a big Kentucky night. Transy with several players from the area in Winchester and Salyersville, and a lot of native Kentuckians here tonight.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of kids from Salyersville, a couple of them from Cynthiana, Winchester, all over the place.
It really means a lot when they're from Kentucky. Hear about the Morehead State name all growing up,
sure,
to play in Johnson Arena.
It's a quick turnover for Morehead State. That's their first on the night. The officials tonight, Natasha Harris, Hannah Engel, and Adam Ryder. Morehead State shows full court pressure as Transy will get it in bounds. This is Zavonia Walker. She's a 5'3" senior from Danville, averaging 8.5 points and 5 rebounds per ball game.
Here it looks like Morehead putting on a lot of pressure. They'll need to do that to compete with these ladies in the crimson.
The bucket by Elizabeth Hardiman. That's her first points, and Transy has the early lead, 2-0 now, with just under 9 minutes to play as we go across 9 minutes. Transy showing a 2-3 zone. There's a whistle and a foul, and there will be a quick foul on Transylvania. Foul is on Zenovia Walker. That's her first foul of the ball game, and Morehead State will trigger underneath the basket.
I won't be surprised if Morehead State sees a lot of zone this year. They've seen zone against Eastern Kentucky, and a lot of teams know that's one way to get them to shoot shots outside of their comfort zone.
Well, they haven't shot the ball very well as Elston misses a 3 there. Comes Perry-Ellis driving in.
That was a good cut there.
It was a good cut. Pass just not able to draw it in by Elston. That's another turnover. And here comes Transy back the other way. It was Shope. Can't get it to go down, and back the other way we go. Here comes Lauren Carter.
Those rebounds will be essential. Morehead State has to grab all those and show their dominance down low. Yeah,
I mean, they're outsized. Transylvania's outsized pretty large.
Right.
So you would think the Morehead would have to have a rather large rebounding margin, just in any sense. Here's Perry-Ellis weaving into the lane. Dumps it off to Crawford, took a little bump, couldn't get it to go down, and back the other way we go.
Yeah, she had a lot of contact there, but ended up falling back the other way. Faded out a little bit.
Here's Walker with the basketball. She's going to take it in herself. That was partially blocked. I believe it was Kirkwood that got that. She's a block specialist, and back the other way, and there's a foul as Kennedy Stacy, 5'7" sophomore from Salyersville, picks up the foul. That's her first. That's the second team foul on Transylvania, and Morehead State will trigger on the near sideline. Ariel Kirkwood brings it in and gives it to Perry Ellis. Perry Ellis, free throw line jumper, a little strong, out of bounds. It'll belong to Transy.
Their offense was just a little too stagnant there, not letting the shots come to them.
In a zone, typically what you want to see is player and more especially ball movement, get the zone flowing back and forth, and then you can go against the grain. There's a trigger, and it looked like the inbounds pass hit the sideline, and so the Eagles will inbound the basketball down there where it went out. Lauren Carter will trigger.
Execution is something both of these teams will have to work on tonight. Neither one of them showing too much early on this season.
First turnover for Transy. Pretty good ball movement there, and Lauren Carter.
Yeah, it's a nice pass.
Carter hit the elbow jumper. That's her first two. And we're tied at 2 as we get under 7:22 to go. Shope will fire a long three. That doesn't hit anything, and it'll go back the other way to Morehead State. That would have been a 3 in the men's game. Maybe in the NBA. That was deep. 2-2 here in the early going as we hit 7-minute mark in the first quarter. Here's Elston. Corner to Crawford. Back up top as Morehead State now has a little better ball movement. Elston running baseline. Looks. Now will decide to fire the 16-footer. Comes up empty. Shope clears the rebound for Transylvania.
I haven't seen Elston do too many of those mid-range shots. She's usually a 3-shooter or attacking the rim.
There's a deep shot for Hardiman. Elizabeth Hardiman, a 6'3 senior from Winchester. She came into tonight 1 for 7 from behind the arc. She nails the first one. Back the other way we go. Crawford can't get it to go down, and in the rebounding action, there's a foul, and it's going to be on Transylvania.
Yeah, that's what Morehead State needs there with the offensive rebounds.
Foul is on Callan Jackson, the 5'10 senior from Indianapolis, averaging 12 points and about 2 rebounds per ball game. That's her first. It's the third team foul on Transylvania. And Morehead State will send Lauren Carter to the line as Tamaya Alford comes into the ball game. First free throw by Carter is good. 60% free throw shooter on the year. Carter now with 3, and Morehead State has a 5-3 lead.
Carter's long athleticism helps her to grab those offensive and defensive boards a lot of times.
Yeah, good rebounder. Averages 8.7 rebounds per ball game, which leads Morehead State. Crawford comes out as Ellie Jo Johnson, a 6'1 junior from South Webster, Ohio, checks in. New player, Madison Kelly-Own from Cynthiana, was in the ball game. This is Celia Pelfrey with a long 3. And the 5'9 freshman from Edgewood and Dixie Heights High School gets her first 3 of the ball game, and it's 8-4 Transy.
Transylvania has shown their range from the three-point line tonight.
Morehead State can't get the lid off the bucket. Transy gets the floor rebound, and back the other way we come. It's Kelly-Own. Shope. Foul on the floor, no shot. You can see on the replay that Alford was trying to stay with her, and there was just a lot of contact, and Alford didn't quite get her position established, and she's going to pick up her first foul. As Crawford comes back in. And Lauren Carter goes out for Morehead State.
Alford is good on the defense as far as being aggressive, but in times like that, you don't want to give away an unnecessary foul.
Right. Pelfrey, head fake, goes into the lane, stops, pops a 6-footer, won't go.
was a nice save.
Crawford with a save, rebound, and back the other way. Here comes the Eagles. There's Kirkwood driving in. Still after it. Still can't get it to go. And Hardiman for Transylvania clears the way.
Kirkwood, another one like Carter, is great at grabbing those offensive boards, but they just had to be a little bit stronger with it on the putback.
Callan Jackson with a nice move on the block. Gets her first two. And it's 10-4. Transylvania. Morehead State has not looked good in the early going.
No, this is not what Morehead's wanting to see tonight so far to start out the first quarter.
Morehead State's opened up. They're 1 of 10 from the field and 0 of 1 from behind the arc. That's not going to cut it.
No, one of their keys to this game is to play their game and not do things that are outside of their territory. And tonight they're just taking shots that unfortunately aren't theirs.
There's a turnover for Transylvania, and that brings us to our first timeout. 4:23 to go, and Transylvania leads this one 10-4 from Johnson Arena. Slow start for Morehead State. They're only shooting 1 of 10 here in the early going. They trail Transylvania 10-4. We got 4:23 as we get back to live action. Here comes Perry Ellis bringing it into the front court. And again, Transylvania showing a 2-3 zone.
No, if I know my dad well, he's probably mentioned shot selection in that time out there, just making sure that the Eagles are shooting their shots and not doing anything out of their range.
Perry Ellis misses the shot, but battling on the rebound. And we get a held ball, and we'll go to the possession arrow, and it'll belong to Morehead State. There's Carter with a 3, in and out and back in. Lauren Carter with all 7 of Morehead State's points now is good defense.
Yeah, Carter playing well so far. Both making the shots go through the hoop and with the rebounds, and then her long arms on defense.
Morehead State again pressing. And that's a new player in for Transylvania as Deja Thornton, 5'11" sophomore from Cincinnati, and there's contact out front. And they're going to get Perry Ellis with a foul. And that is Perry Ellis' first foul. And only the second team foul for Morehead State. Now Perry Ellis will come out. In favor of Morgan DeFore, a 5'5" freshman from Georgetown at Scott County High School. And I know they're awfully high on DeFore. Think she's going to be a fine shooter once she finds her range.
Yeah, she just hasn't been able to get into her groove yet. The last, the whole season she has struggled behind the arc, but in high school she was a top shooter.
DeFore with a sloppy little pass and got picked off, but battled and Morehead State was able to keep battling, and Kennedy Stacy for Transylvania wasn't able to haul it in, so it'll stay here on this end of the floor. Yeah, DeFore scored a ton of points for Scott County. And just here in the early going, just not quite able to find it yet, but I know Greg Todd and his staff are all very high on her as there is a travel call offered, and that's another turnover for Morehead State. That's number 3.
She's been shooting well past the NBA range since high school, so the college line should have no issues for DeFore.
Nice play by Carter. She steals it. Flips it over to Alford, and Alford gets her first 2. As Morehead State now ratcheting up the defense and catching up in the ballgame. And now it's 10-9 as we go under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. See you, Pelfrey. Over to Stacy. Back to Pelfrey. She lets it go. There's a turnover, Transy. Here comes Carter back in a hurry the other way for Morehead State.
This is what Morehead State needs. Be aggressive, scrappy on defense, and get some of these steals, see the ball go the other way for them on offense. Tamaya
Alford tried to hit Ellie Jo Johnson on the low block and didn't lead her real well, and then commits a foul after the turnover. So kind of a sloppy turnover for Morehead State. That's number 5 for Morehead State. And then for Alford, that's her second foul. I believe that's her number 2.
Yeah, it is. It's been something she's been working on since last year, her freshman year even. foul trouble has always been something she's struggled with.
Yeah, she was foul prone last year, and I think she's better this year, but she's still kind of work in progress. Stacy over to Shope. Shope will drive herself. Lots of traffic, lots of contact. She gets it to rattle home. 12-9 now, Transylvania.
She went pretty much coast to coast there, but
Perry Ellis took it all the way to the rack, and there was a lot of contact there, but Hannah Engel, the referee down on the end line, saw it differently. She had a better look than me. There's Tyler Moore into the ball game for Morehead State, a 5'10 redshirt senior.
it looked like if she had followed her shot there, maybe she would have had a potential at the rebound, but went the other way.
Moore, a transfer from University of Maryland, Baltimore County, as Morehead State played a little bit of Olay defense there, and Kennedy Stacy took advantage of it.
She's another one, like before, my dad's mentioned, she's one of the best shooters he's seen. In practice, she's been doing well, but struggling behind the arc this year so far.
Moore misses a three. Transy comes away with a rebound. As now we get under 2 minutes to go, and Transylvania working with a 14-9 lead here early on. Here's Walker driving the lane. Cut off. Pass is chipped. Here comes Lauren Carter with the turnover back the other way. Carter presses the issue. Somehow gets it to go up and in off the glass. Lauren Carter, really the lone bright spot right now for Morehead State. She's got 9 of Morehead State's 11 points.
Yeah, she's filling up her stat line with rebounds, points, steals, getting a little of everything.
Stacy working very hard against Carter. She'll fire that 17-footer. It's good. Stacy with 4 now, and it's 16-11 Transy as we're under a minute to go in the quarter. Perry Ellis over to DeFore. Skip pass.
I'm surprised she didn't take that one there.
I was too. Another skip pass. Here's DeFore. Thought she was going to take it. 2 on the timer. 1. Perry Ellis flips it up. It's good. Perry Ellis with her first 2. 16-13. As time will run out. Well, there's 14 seconds left in the quarter.
A game or two ago, I think those shots would have been taken, but I think the Eagles have kind of figured out it's better to get a good shot selection inside the arc tonight.
Right.
Those shots are falling better for him.
Walker's 3 comes up well short, and now we have substitution. She goes out. Ariel Kirkwood comes back in for Morehead State. And I couldn't see the other ones. Jasmine Elston's back in for Morehead State. They got the last 3.5 seconds. They're going to try a long baseball pass. Elston will sling it as far as she can and hopefully get somebody. Crawford dribbling and almost ran out of time. There's 0.8 of a second on the clock, and there's a foul on Transylvania.
Those long baseball passes were always practiced when I was in school as well, but I could never throw them.
Foul's on Hardiman. That's her first, and foul number 4 on Transy in the quarter. So now with 0.8 of a second, you don't have much time to do much. Elston fires a 3 and it won't go. We've completed a quarter of play. Not a real pretty one if you're a Morehead State fan. If you're a Transy fan, you don't mind it too bad. After a quarter, it's 16-13 Pioneers. After a quarter of play, Transylvania leads the homestanding Morehead State Eagles 16-13. Look at some of the stats real quickly. Transy's shooting the ball very well, 7-14 from the field for 50%. Behind the arc, they're a pedestrian 2 of 7 for 29%. Morehead State not be able to put it in the hole very well. 5 of 19, that's only 26%. Brooke, that's not going to cut it.
No, and with that disparity in the shooting percentage, if Morehead State was able to pick up their field goals a little bit more, I mean, they would be well ahead in this game.
Kennedy Stacy couldn't get it to go down, and here we come back the other way with Ariel Kirkwood. There's Perry Ellis up top. Again, Transy's been in that 2-3 zone all night long. Nice slip pass to Gabby Crawford. She just can't get it to go down, but a nice look from Jasmine Elston.
No, I can't imagine Crawford was very happy with that look there. She She's so strong and athletic inside, but that was one of her weaker moves.
Shope gets it stuffed by Crawford, but she gets her own rebound. Now here comes Kennedy Stacy. Corner to Shope as we're under 7 now on the timer, and Shope is called for the travel. I'm sorry, that was Stacy called for the travel. It's turnover number 6 for Transylvania. Morehead State has turned it over 4 times, and here we come back the other way. Perry Ellis pushing the issue. Here's Elston. Perry Ellis will get it back, and we'll reset the offense against that 2-3 Pioneer zone. Crawford takes it in the lane. 12-footer won't go. Nice rebound by Carter. She's wide open. And Crawford takes a drive in. Doesn't get it to go, but takes some punishment, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2 free throws.
That's what Crawford needs right there. Take that extra dribble, get all the way to the basket. The time before that, when she's taken the mid-range shot, it's just not falling as well for her.
Foul was on Otero. Miranda Otero, a 6'2 senior from Brook Park, Ohio. She's averaging 3.8 points, and she leads the Pioneers with 7 rebounds a ball game. It's Crawford's first free throw goes down. It's her first point of the night. Crawford averaging 12.3 points, which leads the Lady Eagles, and 7.3 rebounds. I should say Eagles. I'm showing my age there. Good free throw shooter, shooting 70%. She gets them both to go. Morehead State presses again and gets an immediate turnover. And Jasmine Olsen with the steal and the points. Morehead State now on top 17-16, but there's a foul in the backcourt.
The Eagles will make Transy pay for those forced turnovers there with getting their hands out on the balls on this press defense.
Ariel Kirkwood with the foul. That's her first foul of the quarter. If you're not familiar with the women's game, fouls reset on the quarters, not on the halves. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Pioneers. And we've got a shot clock reset problem. The shot clock was recycled back to 30, and it should not have. We mentioned Ariel Kirkwood a minute ago, the 6-foot sophomore from Milwaukee. She was the OVC all-newcomer team last year, and she was also named as one of the second-team all-OVC selections, too. So big things looking for Ariel Kirkwood as she comes into her sophomore campaign.
She's leading this team in their block party about every night.
Yeah, she's number 2 in the country in blocks per game.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Here's Shope over to Stacy. Stacy's been awfully active tonight. Drives in the lane, and she's up with a lot of people, and she drove right into the arms of Ariel Kirkwood, and Kirkwood was able to tie her up, and that's a turnover for Transylvania as the arrow favors Morehead State. Perry Ellis pushing the issue back the other way as now Transy kind of extends that 2-3 zone out a little bit. Skip pass is too high, and that's a turnover for Morehead State. That's 5 for the Eagles. Deja Thornton back in, the 5'11 sophomore from Cincinnati for Transylvania. Thornton averaging 8 points and 5.3 rebounds per ball game. Now the Pioneers break the Morehead press pretty readily, but can't push it. Stacy with a 3, won't go.
Nice strong rebound there.
It was. And a long lead pass is tipped and then goes off of Kirkwood and out of bounds. And that's another turnover, and it'll belong to Transylvania.
I thought that was going to be an easy 2 points there, and
Kennedy Stacy got it just a fingertip on it and was able to alter the pass of the pass, and Kirkwood couldn't adjust quick enough.
Yeah.
Good defensive effort by Stacy getting back. Here's Walker over to Stacy. Working on Kirkwood, stops and pops 18, won't go. Shope with the rebound, she can't get it to go. And finally, Morehead State clears it with Perry Ellis. Up quickly, it goes to Elston. She lays it up and in.
That was a nice transition there. Good passes and good seeing the floor.
Nice break. Elston took care of business, and Morehead State leads at 19-16. There's another turnover.
The Eagles' hands have been active tonight.
Kirkwood drives a baseline. Thornton didn't cut it off, and Kirkwood gets her first two of the night. Morehead State now up 5, 21-16. Now Transy has numbers. Shope will fire a three. Floor rebound to Kirkwood, now quickly out to Carter. She runs all the way down, runs right around a Vandy player and gets it to go down. Carter with 11, that leads everybody. Morehead State now with a 23-16 lead.
Looks like this athletic Morehead State team has started to fatigue the Pioneers here. They are starting to look a little tired, especially with this press.
They've worn them down quite a bit, looks like. Here's Walker driving into the lane, gets cut off. Stacy, long three, won't go. Kicking rebound, and somehow Walker comes away with the floor rebound. It's kicked way out toward the elbow.
It's definitely affecting Transy's shot as well. They're not shooting nearly as well this second quarter as they did in the first.
Well, they're having to work very, very hard, and when you lose your legs, you lose your shot. Walker with 2 on the timer, 1 on the timer. Stacy puts it up, and
wow.
The officials didn't blow it dead, but I see what they're doing. They're going to let it go, and then they have the luxury of going to the monitor.
Yeah, that was close there. I can't tell.
There's no way that's going to count. I just looked at the replay. If we could re-rack that, guys, but yeah, you could see from that long view we just had, Stacy was scrambling. She knew she was running out of time, and here you can see it again. Walker was trying and looking, and Stacy knew, and there you can see it's already turned 0, and the ball hasn't left her fingertips yet. So that's going to be a turnover for Transy. That'll be number 10 for them.
Thank goodness for the replay.
Yeah. Well, I think if this would have been in a non-replay situation, the official would have blown it. Hannah Engel was on the far side, or our far side, and she was the one that had that call, and she blew it. And you could tell what she did. She said, hey, I know I have the luxury of not blowing the whistle because I can fix it.
Yep.
So Morehead State starting to heat up a little bit. They started out their first 10 free field goal attempts. They were 1 out of 10. Now they're 9 of 26, so they've gone from 10% to 36%, which is better. Got a ways to go yet, and Transy has cooled off. Now they're 7 of 21 from the field for 33%. And I can't imagine this replay is going to take very long at all.
No, and this shooting percentage still is not where the Morehead State coaching staff is going to want their girls to be playing when they're in OVC play and playing Division I teams. They expect better, especially against a Division III school.
Well, Morehead's, like I said, we mentioned at the top, they started the season off with an 0-3 record. Opened the season with a loss here in Johnson Arena to Dayton, 71-57. Then last Friday, they lost here against Eastern Kentucky, 50-49 in a tough ball game. Then last night, they went down to Richmond and played, and it took a 74-59 loss. But if you look at their statistics, they haven't shot the ball well yet. From the field, the Eagles are shooting 33%. They're 12% from three-point range, and it's a better ball club than that, I have to think.
No, you're exactly right. Even for a tough Division III school like Transylvania, they're usually a national contender. They've won the conference here recently, but still, it's a Division III school, and that's not what the Eagles are reaching for.
Ellie Jo Johnson catches it deep in the paint, now fans it back out. This is Ziegler. Ziegler gets her first two. She's back in. Darren Ziegler, 5'10", redshirt sophomore out of Cleveland. JUCO transfer. Morehead State up 9. High post, that's Kelly-On. She goes up, and that ball is blocked by Ziegler. Results in a tie-up situation. Now this time the arrow favors Transylvania. There should be, I think, a media timeout as now we're under 5 minutes. There we go. Under 5 minutes to go, and there's usually a media timeout in each quarter. Halfway through the second quarter, Morehead State starting to pull away a little bit. They lead at 25-16. We'll be back with more on ESPN+. Back in Johnson Arena where Morehead State leads this 25-16, and Transylvania will trigger as we get back to action. There's Otero looking for someone to get the ball to. And there's a foul as, no, I think they called 3 seconds. Regardless, that's a turnover for Transy. That's number 11. And Brooke, you mentioned about Transylvania having a fine program. They do have a good program. They've won back-to-back Heartland championships. It is in NCAA Division III. Julie Folk is in her 7th year at Transy. She got a record with the Pioneers of 139-33. They don't lose much.
No, that's quite impressive. She's done well there. I remember much of my childhood days spent at Transylvania, and always enjoyed those days.
Transy makes Morehead State pay on the turnover as Thornton takes it coast to coast, and now Transy back within 7, 25-18. That kills a Morehead State 14-0 run. And there's a travel as Alford had the right idea, but just the mind and the body weren't quite in sync.
No, she had a good cut there, but it just was a mindless error there.
8th turnover now for Morehead State. Transy back the other way. Here's Thornton driving in. Might have got away with an extra step. Otero gets the slip pass and lays it in. It's Otero's first 2. Transy back within 5. Eagles back in a hurry. That one wouldn't go down. I believe that was Ziegler.
Yeah, it was a little out of control there.
Thornton tries to get over to Shope, and Shope and Perry Ellis tangle a little bit, and it goes out of bounds off Perry Ellis, so Transylvania will maintain possession of the basketball as Lauren Carter comes back in for Morehead State as I think that's Alford went out.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Perry Ellis to pick things up again. She did so well in the season opener against Dayton, and then not done quite as well playing in the point guard position. I know she's not her most comfortable role, but
it's a nice steal by Lauren Carter of the inbounds pass. She's going to take it all the way down by herself and lay it in, and Lauren Carter leads all scorers now with 13 points.
Yeah, showing off that athleticism.
Moves very, very well. 6-foot sophomore from High Point, North Carolina. Transfer out of Campbell University. At her freshman year at Campbell, she was all freshman Big South. There's another turnover, and Morehead State running the floor excellently. And Carter misses the layup.
That was a nice grab by Perry Ellis.
It was.
Unfortunate that the shot couldn't fall.
Now we've got a foul on the rebounding action. I thought they got Carter, but they're going to get a Transylvania player with the foul. Kennedy Stacy will pick up the foul, and she will have to go out as Zenovia Walker checks in for her. That's Stacy's second foul and the 4th foul on Transylvania. I'm sorry, second foul this quarter. Ziegler couldn't get the 3 to go down, and the ball goes out of bounds and to go back to Transy. Callan Jackson steps back in for Transylvania.
Looks like Morehead State's wanting to continue wearing out the Transylvania team with this press, trapping, trying to get their hands on the balls. That's the way they're making points this game is from their defense.
The travel's called on Kellyone as she tried to drive the lane. Madison Kellyone, a 5'4" sophomore from Cynthiana. She had a fine high school career. She was 10th Region Player of the Year. Tyler Moore comes into the ballgame. Also, Ariel Kirkwood comes in. Morehead State will come back up the floor. Under 3 minutes to go. Eagles lead 7. Coming up against a 2-3 zone for Transy. Perry Ellis just drives in, goes right into the face of Kaylin Jackson, and Jackson's able to tie her up, and that's a turnover for Morehead State. Perry Ellis just kind of pushed it a little bit too far.
Yeah, there's been quite a few jump balls so far. There's been a lot of hands in the lanes this game.
Kaylin Jackson gets the lame duck pass from Walker that was lucky to get there, and then Perry Ellis trying to intercept the pass is going to be guilty of the foul.
Yeah, I thought she had that one. I thought it was going the other way, and then went through and unfortunately got the foul.
Just about a step late, Perry Ellis with her second foul. Morehead State's second foul of the quarter. Perry Ellis will sit down in favor of Morgan DeFore, the 5'5" freshman from Georgetown. Jackson to trigger. That ball is tipped by Carter. And she gives it to DeFore, back up to Ellie Jo Johnson trailing and can't get it to go down. Good break, just wouldn't go down. Walker with the rebound for Transylvania coming back the other way.
That was Carter's 5th steal of the game.
Kelly Oak couldn't get her three to go down. Here comes DeFore back the other way for Morehead State. She whips it over to Carter in the corner. Kelly Jo Johnson will drive in on the baseline. She lays it up and in.
It's a nice strong move with her back, parallel to the baseline there.
Yeah, pretty good dump off by Carter too to find her right there on the baseline. That's
right.
Johnson's first two. Morehead State now leads it by 9 as we're under 2 minutes to go. Kaylin Jackson with a nice nifty little move. Jackson with 4. She averages 12. DeFore on a runner, the wooden rim that rims out. And Hardiman with the rebound.
No, a little rush there, that shot.
A little bit. I thought a little bit. Walker was trying to split 2 defenders and kind of a quick whistle. Foul on Morehead State. I thought they got DeFore, I guess. And DeFore kind of was trying, you can see on the replay, she was trying to wrap around her body and knock it free, and DeFore gets her first foul.
I wonder if the face mask thing makes things more difficult for her tonight wearing the
I
mask.
never had to wear one. I can't imagine it's got to be comfortable.
No.
Ariel Kirkwood picks up a foul. It's Kirkwood's second. 4th foul on Morehead State in the quarter, and Madison Kelly-Owen will go to the free throw line for Transylvania as now we have another substitution. Oh, no. Now we have some issue with the official scorer. I can't imagine what we're looking at other than maybe we had the wrong number on the foul. So 29-22, Trancy will be at the free throw line in the name of Madison Kelly-Owen, 77% free throw shooter when we get going again. Don't know what the issue was, but whatever the issue was, we looks like we're going to come back. And that's what it was. I think the officials were thinking that we were in the bonus situation. We weren't. They didn't have the team fouls straight. So it'll be Trancy to trigger it on the end line underneath their own bucket. There's Jackson with a 3. Open. Nice little pop out, and Jackson buries it. Back the other way we go with Morehead State. Jackson has 7 now. And Kirkwood drives baseline, gets cut off. And Jackson just ties her up, but the arrow will belong to the Eagles. You see Kirkwood, she just drove baseline, and then when she picked up her dribble, she turned right into Jackson, allowed Jackson to tie her up. Here's Carter, has been the big bright spot for Morehead State here in the first half. Gabby Crawford turns around, reverse spins, goes up, and she is hammered. She'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
Maybe getting to the free throw line is what Crawford needs here. see have the ball in her hands. And
Crawford with only 2 points on the night. Both came from the free throw line. That foul, by the way, was on Kaylin Jackson. That's her second. Transy has sent a substitute to the scorers table to come in, probably for her. Both free throws down. Crawford has 4. Yes, Jackson will go out.
Crawford 4 for 4 from the free throw line, but 0 for 4 from the field goal. I mean, she has a nice shot, but just not working for her tonight.
Haven't been able to get it going quite yet. Here comes Walker back for Transy. Here's Thornton. Tries to hit Hardiman. Hardiman will launch a long one. So prayer not answered, and with the floor rebound, it's Crawford. Decided to take it all by herself, and that goes down. Maybe that'll get her going.
She heard me talking about her up here.
6 now for Crawford, her first field goal. And Morehead State leads at 33-25 as we're under half a minute to go. This is Nottingham. Shot clock turned off. Walker tries a running layup, won't go. Now with 1 second at the buzzer, Kirkwood with a long runner, won't go down. And we've completed 1/2 of play. Not been a real thing of beauty, but Morehead State's starting to look a little bit better. We put through 1/2 of play, and Morehead State leads it 33-25. We're at halftime here at Johnson Arena, where Morehead State leads Transylvania by a score of 33-25. While we got a minute, let's just look at the first half stats. And started out pretty ugly, Brooke, for Morehead State. They first 10 attempts off from the floor, they missed. And got a lot better in the second quarter, though, didn't they?
Yeah, I agree. The first quarter was rough for Morehead State, and Transylvania was hitting in there in the beginning, not as tired. But the second quarter, Morehead State definitely wore them out. Morehead was able to execute some of those transition buckets and then stop Transylvania's shooting percentage.
Well, look at the percentages. Morehead State, 12 of 33 from the field. That's 36.4%. For Transy, 11 of 17 for 41%. Behind the arc, Transy heaved up 12 of them, made 3 for even 25%. Morehead State was 1 out of 5 from three-point range, and that's 20%. Morehead State leads the rebounding battle, 21-18. Turnovers, a big story here. Transylvania ended up the half with 15 turnovers, Morehead State with 9. Leading scorers for Morehead State, it's been Carter. She's got 13 points. Lauren Carter came into the night averaging 5.3. She leads the team at 8.7 rebounds. She ended up with 13 points. She also has 7 rebounds. She's hit 5 of 7 from the field, including 1 of 1 from behind the arc. She hit both of her free throw attempts. She also had two assists to add to that. So it's been the Lauren Carter show if you're Morehead State for the first half. For Transylvania, leading the way was Kaylin Jackson. She had 7. She averages 12 coming in tonight. By the way, the halftime stats brought to you by Wilson Sporting Goods. Wilson, the official basketball of the OVC. We'll take another break. We'll come back, set up the second half, and look at some of the first half highlights. You're watching Ohio Valley Conference basketball on ESPN+. Morehead State leads at the half, 33-25. Morehead State looking, obviously, for their first win of the year after dropping the first 3 contests, including the last 2 ball games, back-to-back games against their conference foe, Eastern Kentucky. It's a weird year. It's COVID. That's it's just we're going to have things like this. This ball game was never supposed to happen. It was a late edition. They added this last week because Morehead State lost a game that was going to be at Marshall. Marshall had some COVID activities in their roster. Transylvania also lost a game. I can't remember the opponent they were supposed to play, so the 2 schools got together and said, hey, why don't we play a ball game? So we had a ball game, first half stats, or first half highlights, and we talked about it briefly. Lauren Carter's been a real highlight for Morehead State. You can see her right here working. And that was her first shot of the game. She drilled it from out front, ended up with 13 points. She's been a real spark for Morehead State, bro.
Yeah, she's been hitting all the marks on the stat line. Not only her 13 points, but she has 7 rebounds and 5 steals to add to that. She's everywhere out on the court there with her long arms and athletic body.
Yeah, she's very physical. She's very athletic. She runs the floor well, as you can see there. She got out on the break. Does a lot of things very well. And that's something that Morehead State's going to have to ask for her. She had a very good freshman campaign 2 years ago when she was at Campbell University. She was all Big South freshman team. So I know that Greg Todd and the staff's looking for big things from her. Let's talk about a couple of the other players in what we saw in the first half. We mentioned that Gabby Crawford had a slow start. She looked like she might be heating up a little bit late in that half.
Right. I mean, she's doing well from the free throw line, 4 for 4. If she can just continue attacking the rim and getting to the glass, that'll be good news for Morehead State.
We mentioned Transy's hot start. They started off very, very well. They were hitting the heck out of three-point shots. Had a couple turnover conversions where Deja Thornton right there with a pick and took it all the way down. There's a nice shot from Kaylin Jackson, who got hot late in the half. She leads Transy with 7 points. So far so good. If you're Morehead, you would rather be – you kind of think that you should be up more. You should be winning more. But at the same time, you hit one of your first 10 shots. Transy came out really hot. Morehead's had probably a little bit too many turnovers. But at the same time, Transy's forced some of those too. So kind of so far so good.
Right, and you kind of wonder how fatigue is playing into this game. Morehead State coming off of a hard loss last night against Eastern, and I mean they just played Eastern last Friday, and then continue to play 2 more games this week. So you have to wonder if that's not playing a role as well with their press defense.
Yeah, that's something to think about because they're playing 24 hours later, if they're conference foe, arch rival Eastern Kentucky. And then, it was only 3 days before that they played them here. So a lot of energy expelled in a space of, 4 or 5 days. So, yeah, there probably is some fatigue involved. And that's one thing that you kind of mentioned during the second quarter, that you thought Transy might have gotten a little fatigued.
Right. I believe Transy last played on Saturday. And, even they came out strong in the first quarter. The second quarter they were clearly looking more tired with the full court defense and not executing their passes or three-pointers quite as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this third quarter plays out, if maybe the halftime refresh some legs and who ends up pulling out this third quarter.
Yeah, and Morehead State, with the way they play defense, will make Transylvania expel a lot of energy just getting the ball at the floor. Transylvania's played very hard defensively, even though being in a zone, they've played fairly hard, so you can see how they would get fatigued. So we're at halftime. Transylvania is back out on the floor for some warm-ups. Morehead State is yet to come out of their locker room, so we'll take a break and get ready for the second half action here at LST Johnson Arena. Morehead State leads it 33-25, and you're watching OVC basketball on ESPN+. God's had big games here, and a lot of fun in this gym.
Yeah, I went to multiple Morehead State volleyball games in Weatherby Gym before they just moved over here, but Johnson Arena is definitely a big one to fill.
Yes, it is. Perry Ellis, Kirkwood, Carter, Crawford, and Elston starting for Morehead State here in the third quarter. Walker, Shope, Jackson, Stacy, and Hardiman. So starters both ways for both teams. Hardiman saves that one inbounds, but it bangs right off the knee of Walker and out of bounds, and Transylvania starts the third quarter off like they ended the second quarter with a turnover. That's 16 for the Pioneers.
Yeah, they have quite a few forced and unforced turnovers there.
Crawford with an elbow jumper, couldn't get it to go down, but Kirkwood is there to get the floor rebound. She'll fire a 3 up and get it.
That's one thing that Kirkwood has improved on this year, coming from last. She's been known to attack the rim and get those offensive rebounds, but the three-point game is one that she's been working on.
She's got 5 points on the night. Up top it goes to Hardiman, product of Winchester, Kentucky, and George Rogers Clark. Walker got in a little trouble and tried to sling it back out, and that ball's picked off. And here comes Carter back the other way all by herself. Gets a layup, it won't go, but she's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line for a pair. Foul was on Jackson. It's her third foul. First foul on Transy in the quarter. And Lauren Carter with 13 points on the night will go to the free throw line. She's 2 for 2 on the night. For the year, she came in this evening hitting 60% clip from the free throw line. Now she's 3 for 3 tonight. Now she has 14 points.
Yeah, she's improved about every area of her stat line tonight compared to the last 3 games. But if she keeps this up, it's looking good for Morehead State for the future season.
She's a player that I think Greg Todd and the staff are really looking for big things from, to make big contributions as we get into the OVC schedule.
Yeah, Morehead State has several newcomers that, once they finally find their groove, it could really be big things for the Eagles getting into conference play.
Here's Kennedy Stacy. She'll fire a 3. That won't go. And Carter comes with a floor rebound. Here's to Perry Ellis. She's pushing the action. Elston will fire a 3 from low on the wing. Crawford with the rebound. She goes right back up. She gets tangled up with Hardiman. And Elizabeth Hardiman will pick up a foul. And Gabby Crawford will go to the free throw line as a reward for good board work on the offensive end. She gets to go shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, that was an excellent rebound there. And if she's continues to put strong putbacks up, it's big things for the Eagles.
Hardiman's second foul. She will go out in favor of Miranda Otero, the senior from Brook Park, Ohio. Crawford's 3 throw is good. She's got 7 points now. 5 of 5 from the 3-point line. Or from the free throw line, I should say. Both of them go down. Morehead State now leads it by 15, 40-25, as we get close to the 8.5-minute mark in the third quarter here. And against the press, Zenovia Walker steps on the sideline. As good pressure by Gabby Crawford over there. Might have got a little bump help, but I think she stepped on the sideline before the contact. 18 turnovers for Transy.
I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see this press from Morehead State as the season goes on. They've had good results from it, getting their hands on balls and creating turnovers.
That's their DNA. That's what they like to do. They'll press more often than not. They've got the athletes to do it.
Right.
Perry Ellis driving to the bucket, didn't get the shot to go, but she got fouled, and she makes her first free throw. Perry Ellis now with 3 points. Foul was on Jackson. That's her 4th. Perry Ellis' second one is good.
Morehead State is 12 for 12 from the free throw line tonight. That's one thing that they've also struggled on in the first 2 games and even last night is from the free throw line, but making strides tonight.
Jackson went out in favor of Grace Shope for Transy, a 5'10 junior from Leesburg, Ohio. And you're right, Morehead State has struggled mightily from the free throw line until tonight, shooting the ball very well. Lauren Carter picks up the foul, and Transy will trigger on the end line underneath the bucket. There's Kennedy. Whistles, we stop. And that's a plain violation warning. Lauren Carter was defending the inbounds pass, and she broke the plane of the end line. And in the women's game, you get 1 warning per team. If you do it again, I believe it's a technical in the college game.
Yeah, Carter knows that she can get her hands on those balls.
Elizabeth Hardiman with a nice curl, and she gets 2. Hardiman now with 7, and it's 42-27. Morehead State with the lead in the basketball. Here's Perry Ellis. And didn't quite have body control, took the extra step as she tried to stop. And Perry Ellis commits the turnover, and that's number 11 for Morehead State. Morehead State still pressing, showing that pressure defense. Here comes Walker. It's Shope. Finally grabs the handle. She's going to do it by herself. A little spinning, whirling shot, and it goes down. Shope with 4 now.
That was a crafty move there.
It was. I didn't know she had really control of everything, but she sure might have got it to go. Perry Ellis working on Stacy. Nice little pass inside to Crawford, and Crawford lays it in.
Yeah, that was a nice assist there. Perry Ellis is expected to handle the ball a lot this season, and she's had some turnovers, but, you know, the assist there, she's coming along.
That was a beautiful pass right there. Give Crawford now 10 points. Morehead State up 15. Hardeman shot blocked by Crawford. Still controlled by Transy. Hardeman left all alone, and she turns around. Crawford was late getting back to the party. She was taken out of position with the block. Hardeman gets another bucket. Nice little move by Crawford, just would not go down. Here comes Transy back the other way with Zenevia Walker. She tries to go up, and that one's blocked.
An impressive number of blocks tonight. That's 10 for the night total. Most of them coming from Carter and Kirkwood. Continue to
Kirkwood,
have a block party tonight.
Yeah, well, we mentioned Kirkwood leads the Ohio Valley Conference in blocks per game. Coming in tonight, she had right at 3 blocks per ball game. And that was number 2 in the country on a per game basis. And she hadn't hurt herself tonight in that category. That's 6 for her. And like you said, 10 for the ball club.
Yeah, 5th in the NCAA coming in tonight.
5th. Nice little pass from Stacy. That shot wouldn't go down. It goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with Transy. Thornton just couldn't get it to go down, but really nice little slip pass from Stacy. Here comes DeFore back in the ball game as Perry Ellis will take a break. Madison Kellyone, the 5'4" sophomore for Cynthiana's in for Transy. This is her with the basketball. Drives in, shot won't count as DeFore put 2 hands as a defender on the body of the driver, and that's an automatic foul in NCAA women's basketball.
Yeah, fortunately she knew that she was going to get beat there if she hadn't put some contact there.
2 fouls on DeFore. Here's Thornton. She's in a whole heap of trouble, and it's going to get bailed out because there's a foul. They're going to get Ellie Jo Johnson reaching in and getting a whole lot of arm of Deja Thornton. Johnson's 2nd foul. I'm sorry, that's her 1st foul. 3rd team foul from Morehead State here in the quarter. Stacy to trigger into Hardeman. Stacy asking for a pick. Now she'll drive and kicks it to Thornton, who can't handle it. There's Shope wheeling in, and she's out of control, and she flat runs over Kirkwood, and that's a charge. I'm sorry, that wasn't Kirkwood. That was Gabby Crawford taking the punishment. Regardless, that's a foul on Shope and a turnover, and nice defensive help by Gabby Crawford. Shope's 1st foul. Turnover number 19 now for Transylvania. Nice help that time by Gabby, coming across the lane, picking up.
Yeah, exactly. Gabby Crawford is one to help her teammates out, not only with an assist or on the offensive end, but they're on the defensive end, taking a charge, taking one for the team.
Alford rolls into the paint, puts up a shot, and it goes out of bounds, and it was partially blocked. Referee on the baseline, Hannah Engel. Initially, she didn't see the partial block. She had it going back to Transy out of bounds. But got some help from her crewmates, and now it's going to stay back with Morehead State. DeFore triggers on the inline.
It's a nice cut there by Johnson, right to the basket, and then
nice little curl cut. Johnson just went around and just a curl, and a nice, quick, crisp pass from DeFore to get it to her. And Johnson will get to go to the free throw line for a couple free throws. Hardeman with the foul. That's 3 on Elizabeth Hardeman, the 6'3" senior from Winchester. Ellie Jo Johnson's 1st free throw clangs off. Ellie Jo coming into this tonight was 5 of 8. That's 63%. Just missed her 1st one. 2nd one on the way. Much better looking shot, and it goes down. Johnson now with 3 points. Morehead State with a 45-31 lead. Kennedy Stacy, the sophomore from nearby Salyersville, brings it up, handling the point right now. And Tamaya Alford just trying a little bit too hard and reaching too much instead of moving her feet. She's going to be charged with a foul. Alford with her third foul.
With much of the Heartland Conference far away up in northern parts of Ohio and Indiana, I'm sure a lot of these Transylvania fans are happy to have a game close to Lexington and within driving distance for many of their fans.
They can come see their kids play. Jackson can't control the pass. It goes out of bounds. Saved, and here comes back Morehead Kirkwood in a hurry the other way.
Oh, nice pass.
Nice dump down to Johnson, and Ellie Joe puts it in. That's 5 for Johnson. Nice assist for Kirkwood. It's the first of the night. I thought she had a couple more.
One thing this Morehead State team is not is selfish. They are definitely one to give the extra pass if it's needed and help their teammates out.
Dump inside to Jackson. She wheels and deals. Can't get it to go. Kirkwood with the rebound, and she was battling with Deja Thornton down there on the baseline. It goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Trancy. But first, we have to take a break. 4:58 to go in the third quarter. Let's now have her halfway here in this quarter. Morehead State leads it by 16. Morehead State leads this one 47-31, about halfway through the third quarter of play. And Brooke Lauren Carter leads all scorers with 15 points, and we've talked about how busy she's been on the offensive end. She's not been slacking off defensively either, has she?
Not at all. Tonight she has the most steals since Ariel McKee had 8 back in 2015-16. Lauren Carter has 7 tonight. So quite impressive on the defensive end there.
Morehead State still keeping up the defensive intensity. Almost got another steal there as Kirkwood was able to knock it out of bounds. Or actually blocked it out of bounds, I should say.
And if you've been following Morehead State women's basketball for the last couple of years, Ariel McKee is a name to know. One of the Morehead State great women's basketball players here recently. But Lauren Carter making her mark.
Trancy will retain possession, come back the other way. We're under 5 minutes to go. Here's Jackson. Tries to force it inside to Hardeman, and that's not going anywhere. Here comes Kirkwood back the other way. A little reverse layup. Gets it to go. Kirkwood now is set with the steal, and she's got 7 points on the night. Trancy now the turnover is building up, so they've got 21.
To add to Kirkwood's 7 points, she has 7 blocks tonight.
She's a block machine. Jackson loses control of the basketball. Here we come back the other way in a hurry. Just to 4, dumps it off to Johnson, and that's really a pretty break. It's a very pretty break for Morehead State. Now they lead it by 20, 51-31.
That makes 15 total steals for the Eagles tonight.
Walker launches a 3. That won't go. And Moore brings down the rebound for Morehead State. Tyler Moore, the 5'10 redshirt senior from Portsmouth, Virginia, the UMBC transfer, but there's a turnover for Morehead State. Choate back in, Kelly-Own back in for Trancy as Stacy and Jackson take an exit. Kirkwood out, Johnson out.
Carter's back in. You know, we could have a triple-double on our hands tonight. Lauren Carter with 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 steals.
Yeah, it's possible. It'd be an odd one, too. Usually it's assists, not steals, where you're getting that double. Here's Thornton trying to go up the sideline, and that's picked off. Back the other way we go. Here's Moore. Drives down, lays it off. Contact, and then it's called blocking, and Morehead State will go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. Zenobia Walker with the foul. That's 2 for her. 6 fouls for Trancy in the corner. Free throw by Elston is good. I'm sorry, I'm dyslexic. That's good, Elston. Ball out of bounds. Go to Trancy.
Crawford thought she had that one there.
Yes,
Not
she
happy
did.
with herself.
She thought she had a steal. Morehead State now with a, looks like a 1-2-2 full court press. Trapping out of it. The pass is tipped. Still able to maintain it. Ball still loose on the floor. And that's a 10-second violation.
A good hustle there by Alford.
It was. Again, Morehead State keeping the defensive intensity turned up. Now it's 24 turnovers for Transy as DeFord will trigger on the inline. Moore, 3. No. On the rebound, and there's foul on the rebound, and I believe they're going to get a Transy player. Well, the Transy player ended up on the floor. They got Grace Shope, the 5'10 junior from Leesburg, Ohio. That's her second foul, and Gabby Crawford would go back to the free throw line, where tonight she is 6 out of 6. She's got 10 points. Crawford averages about 70% from the stripe. A little strong. Second one on the way. Good looking shot. Kirkwood in as Crawford goes out, or I'm sorry. Moore goes out. Jackson back in for Transylvania. Here's Kelly-On.
Morehead State with a lot of substitutions tonight, as usual, getting some fresh legs out there with their defense.
Oh, wow. Kelly-On just dribbling around and just kind of inadvertently ran into Ariel Kirkwood, and Kirkwood's going to pick up that foul. It's her third foul. Team foul number 5 for Morehead State in the quarter, and so Kelly-On will go to the free throw line. Makes the first one. She's a good free throw shooter, averaging 77% coming into tonight. Kelly-On's first point, make it 2, as she's 2 of 2 from the line. Morehead State back the other way with a hurry. Here's Kirkwood.
It's a nice find there.
It was. Skip past before, couldn't get the 3 to go. Hardiman pulls off the board. Kelly-On finds a hole, stops, head fake, goes up. Can't get it to go, but she draws a foul. That's on Perry Ellis.
I wonder if she was expecting the block there. She just kept going with it instead of stopping and pop and faking there, getting the foul.
Yeah, that's what I thought, the same thing in action. If she just kept going, I think she could have had a wide open layup, but maybe she was afraid of somebody coming from behind, and she might not have realized it was Perry Ellis, who's about the same height as she is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it worked out for her here getting to the free throw line. It was a nice little head fake there, but, yeah, I thought she had a wide open lane.
First one for Kelly-On goes down. Second one, good. Sydney Morris comes in for Transylvania. That's a new face, a 5'10 freshman from Cynthiana, averaging 1.5 points and 2.5 rebounds a ball game. Perry Ellis, nowhere to go. Here's DeFore, thought about the 3 from deep in the corner. Thought about launching that. Now she'll run in a little runner that won't go. Kirkwood with a rebound, and nice work for Ariel Kirkwood.
It might not have gone for DeFore, but hey, got the offensive rebound, Kirkwood did, and able to put some points on the board.
Nice also for Kirkwood. She's got 9 on the night, which is improving on her 7.3 a night average coming into this evening. And there's a touch foul on Gabby Crawford.
She's another one. I mean, we could have another triple-double contender here. She's got 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 blocks.
Speaking of Kirkwood, Madison Kelly-On back to the free throw line. She just made 2 a moment ago. That one's good. She's 5 for 5 on the evening. All 5 of her points coming from right there at the charity stripe. Second one's nothing but net. 55-37 as we are under 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Transylvania kind of extended out with that Kelly-On with a 2-3. Carter, nice dump. Good ball movement. Now to Kirkwood on the baseline. Under 10 on the timer. Perry Ellis, 3, won't go. Kirkwood with the tip.
She did a nice job of keeping it up high, tipping it back in.
And Transylvania coach Julie Folks has seen enough for the time being. She wants a timeout. We'll take one as well. 57-37 with 1:32 to go. We'll be back right after this. Minute and a half left in the third quarter as Morehead State leads this one by 20, 57-37 as we come back to live action. Perry Ellis to 4, Kirkwood, Carter, and Crawford for Morehead State. Walker, Kelly-Own, Morris, Jackson, and Hardiman for Transylvania. There's Jackson with a free throw line jumper, just can't get it to go. Morris with good board work, tries to get it back to Hardiman, and we've got a whistle and 3 seconds called.
It was a nice offensive rebound without Morehead State boxing out there, taking advantage.
It was 25 turnovers that though for Transylvania. Here's the freshman to 4 out of Georgetown running the offense. Just drives in. Now out to Kirkwood. DeFore will let that 3 go from the corner, just won't go down for her. Kelly-Own with a rebound for Transylvania.
You can tell DeFore is just feeling deflated from those 3-pointers, not falling like she's used to.
Just not quite got the handle of it yet in college basketball. And one gets the feeling, though, whenever one goes down, they might start going down in bunches.
Right.
Jackson backs Perry Ellis down. She's got a height advantage. She's able to have her own way down there. Jackson now with 9.
That's a nice little move there. Spin back to the basket.
Size mismatch. She just backed her down, got her down to the block, went up. Pretty easy shot. 15 seconds on the clock. About a second and a half differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Now we're at 7 on the timer. Well, now they shut it off. Kirkwood get it, and Zenevia Walker thought she had a steal, and she was about a step late. She's going to pick up a personal foul. That's her 3rd. And Ariel Kirkwood will step to the free throw line for a pair. She hasn't been to the line tonight. Kirkwood on the season coming in tonight, 100% from the free throw line. She made her own shot. Wholesale substitution for Transylvania. Stacy's back in. Shope's back in. Morehead State in. Kirkwood's first one is in and out. Went from 100% on the year to 50%. Hardiman also back in there. I'm sorry, that's Nottingham. Brooke Nottingham, a 5'5" freshman from Jasper, Indiana, as Kirkwood's second one goes down, and we are through 3 quarters of play. So 3 quarters of the way through, Morehead State comfortably on top, 58-39, and you're watching Ohio Valley Conference basketball on ESPN+. We're through 3 quarters here at Johnson Arena, getting ready to start the 4th quarter. 58-39, Morehead State leads. Let's look at the conference standings here in the Ohio Valley Conference while we got a moment. Well, there we go. Tennessee Tech, Eastern Kentucky's 2-0 in the conference, or 2-2 overall. You see not a whole lot of games being played. Over half the teams haven't even gotten a conference game in yet. So long way to go. Morehead State at 0-2. They want to right that ship quickly. Now we'll go back to live action. Transylvania with Shope, Grace Shope. 3 on the timer, 2. Stacy can't get it to fall, but it's coming back the other way from Morehead State. Here's Ariel Kirkwood. Drives in, stop, pop off the glass. Wouldn't quite go down, and there's a foul on Trancy on rebounding action, and the ball will stay with Morehead State on the inline with a pass.
A recap for those who haven't been watching for Morehead State. Their 2 losses in conference have been against the Colonels at Eastern Kentucky. They are 2-0 in conference, and it's not something that the Morehead State coaching staff is happy with at the beginning of this season.
Jasmine Elston with a nice little baseline jumper. She's got 6. I'm sorry, give her 6, and Morehead State now up 21, 60-39. Kennedy Stacy loses control of the basketball, and then there's a scrum, and it's going to be possession Morehead State. 26 turnover for Transy. Kennedy Stacy just got a little out of control and couldn't quite control her body or the basketball, and that's going to result in a turnover. I like the way she plays, though. She plays very hard.
Right, nice hustle effort, but that's too many turnovers for Transylvania tonight to compete with the Morehead State Eagles.
Stacy makes amends with this with the steal. She goes down, lays it up, and the sophomore from Salyersville is able to lay it in. Now she's got 6 points.
Yeah, that makes 13 turnovers for Morehead State. Better than they have in the other games, but against a Division I school, they would probably have more than that, and it's not something that the Morehead State staff is too happy with.
Perry Ellis with a nice little pass found Kirkwood, who went on a backdoor cut on the baseline and found herself right under the bucket. Nice assist for Perry Ellis. Kirkwood now with 14. Morehead State with a 21-point lead. Here's Kennedy Stacy. She's going to drive down the right-hand side. Kirkwood blocked, but she's going to be called for the foul.
Kirkwood is another one who tends to get in some foul trouble, foul prone. She's just so good at those blocks and the steals, getting her hands on balls. Unfortunately for her, tends to turn into fouls as well.
Kirkwood's fourth foul. She was one we were also talking about. Might be close to a triple-double as Stacy's free throw goes down. Stacy is 67% free throw shooter. She's 1 of 1 now. She's got 7 points. She's got another one coming. Product of McGuffin County High School. Gets it to go. Kirkwood goes out. Ellie Jo Johnson in. And okay, here we go. Thought there was multiple, but there was just one. Here's Perry Ellis, jerking the offense on the other end. Loses control of the basketball, and Stacy tried to save it, and she and Lauren Carter bump. Stacy comes up a little worse for the wear, but it'll stay with the Eagles. Elston. Here's Perry Ellis trying to get in the offense. Drives the lane. Little Euro step won't go. And Otero with the rebound. Here we come back with Kennedy Stacy for Transy. Stacy very busy, loses control of the basketball, and it'll go out of bounds, and it'll belong. Well, I thought it was going to belong to Morehead State, as now the officials are going to get together, and they may point the other way.
Yeah, I couldn't tell from our perspective here if there was a hand on that ball going out of bounds or not, but it looks like it'll be Transy ball.
Might have gone off Perry Ellis's leg or foot. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anyways, going to Transy, and Kennedy Stacy going to get a chance to do it again. Working on Perry Ellis. 10 on the shot clock. Pass is deflected and recovered by Shope. Kicks it on the right-hand side to Nottingham. Nottingham drives in. Couldn't get the shot to go, but she's going to go to the free throw line for a couple of free throws. Brooke Nottingham, a 5'5" freshman from Jasper in Indiana, came in averaging 2 points and like a third of a rebound a ball game, played very sparingly. Now she's at the free throw lines where she's a 50% free throw shooter. She's 2 of 4 in the season, make that 3 of 5. Nottingham's first points of the night. Give Nottingham 2, and it's 62-45. It was Perry Ellis the other way for the Eagles, working on Nottingham. Perry Ellis just kind of dancing around out front, not doing much with it. Here comes Carter. She's going to go straight to the hole, and that shot was partially blocked by Otero, and here comes Transy back the other way as Kennedy Stacy will come at a moderate pace.
Yeah, it looks like Transylvania's zone is proving to be effective again for them this quarter.
And Grace Shope caught the pass. She was driving in on a backdoor cut and got to the baseline, and a little bit of contact there and a kind of a late whistle. She was going up against Ellie Jo Johnson, stopped and got it up, and they're going to call a charge on Grace Shope, and now two of the officials are getting together. I cannot imagine what this conference is about.
No, is that something that can be reviewed there, or no? Is that's just kind of a discussion between the two refs?
I'm not sure unless they might be able to review whether she's in a restricted area or not.
Okay.
Because she is a helper, she's defensive help. So that's what they called, and that's what they've ended up doing. They're calling it. They're going to call a foul on Ellie Jo Johnson because she's in a restricted area. And remember, in women's college basketball, the restricted area is not the arc that you see. It is a box inside the zone, and I cannot, for the life of me, I don't know exactly where that box is. I know it starts at the blocks and moves outwards. But that's why we have a foul called on Ellie Jo Johnson, which happens to be her third foul. And then Grace Shope is going to go to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
Yeah, Ellie Jo is one to take a charge and take one for the team, but there just happened to be in the restricted area.
Now Nottingham's going to the free throw line, and I didn't think she was the player that was okay. I just got word that Shope went out with an injury, so Nottingham's going to come in and take the free throws. Nottingham was just at the line a moment ago, and she made 2. Now she's got 3. And that gives her 3 points for the night.
Not the start that Morehead State would like to see for the fourth quarter, allowing Transylvania to creep back a little bit. I mean, still a comfortable lead there for Morehead State, but not what they would like.
6-0 run to start the quarter here for Morehead State as 3 ball won't go for Perry Ellis, and then doing some good board work is Lauren Carter, and she will go to the free throw line after drawing a foul. We're going to get Miranda Otero, the 6'2 senior from Brook Park, Ohio, with the foul. That's her second, and Lauren Carter will go to the free throw line where she's been 5 of 6 on the night, make that 6 of 7. And Carter now is 17 points. She's also got 11 rebounds, 7 steals. Second throw on the way. Rimming in. Give Carter 18. As Zenobia Walker will check back into the ball game, and Kelleone goes out. Morehead State showing some token man-to-man full court pressure, and Nottingham able to break that easily.
Morehead State able to get back and have their defense under control, but yeah, it looked like she had an open lane there.
Jackson's shot wouldn't go, and then on the rebounding action, Gabby Crawford and looked like Kennedy Stacy both got tied up on it. No harm, no foul, nothing dirty, just good hard play. And our arrow favors Transylvania. Kennedy Stacy will trigger with a fresh 20 on the shot clock, and she immediately throws it almost out of bounds. It's saved in, but right to Lauren Carter. Up to Crawford, her layup hits the bottom of the rim. On the rebound, the ball goes out. The last to touch it is Stacy. So it'll belong to Morehead State on the inline.
Crawford just a little under control there. She did have a defender on there, cleared out by the time she got to the basket, but
I think maybe if the pass would have gotten there a step ahead of that where it came, I think it might have been just a shade late.
Right.
And that made it a tough catch and then gather to shoot.
Right.
Carter triggers in. It's Elston's 3 wouldn't go, and then out of bounds, Ellie Jo Johnson couldn't quite control the rebound. It went out of bounds, and it'll belong to Transy. See Pelfrey into the ball game. I'm sorry, that's Gracie Haywood into the ball game, a 5'9" sophomore from Greenup, Kentucky. Just up the road. It's her first action of the night. Here is Haywood. Now to Jackson at the right elbow. Ball won't go. Took a funky hop off the rim, and that allows Otero to grab the offensive rebound and put it back. That gives Otero 4 on the night. Carter's 3 won't go down, but Jasmine Elston there with the offensive glass. Ellie Johnson going to work in the lane. She won't be able to get the shot to go, but she is going to draw the foul. That's on Kaylin Johnson.
Yeah, it was a nice strong dribble to the basket, able to draw the contact.
I'm sorry, that was
the free throw line.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. That was an Otero. That was not Johnson. Otero's 4th foul. And Ellie Jo Johnson will go to the free throw line where she's 1 of 2 on the night. Coming in, she was a 63% free throw shooter. Johnson was 7 points on the evening. Make that 8. 65-49, 5:22 to go. Morehead State in control of this one, looking for the first win of the year after 3 losses to start. Second one by Ellie Jo is good. That gives her 8. She's 2 of 3 on the night from the line, 3 of 4 from the field. Had a nice night.
Yeah, she's shooting well from the field tonight and able to be effective.
Kennedy Stacy was able to pick up some trash because of the entry pass was tipped, and she just found it right in front of her. And for her efforts, she's going to be rewarded to go to the free throw line. The ball was tipped by Ellie Jo Johnson, and that caused a fracas. Gabby Crawford was right there, too, to steal it, and after it was tipped, she couldn't get to it. So Stacy will go to the line. First one is off. She's now 2 of 3 on the night. Stacy, like I said, a 5'7" sophomore from Salyersville. She's got 8 points on the night. She's played very well. She plays hard.
Yeah, exactly. And, yeah, she's had a good night here with probably some fans out in the crowd.
I'm sure somebody over there in that Transylvania cheering section has driven up here from Salyersville to watch her play.
Exactly.
That long pass up the sideline is broken up by Killion, the sophomore from Cynthiana, who's gotten a lot of minutes tonight. She's played 15 minutes. Perry Ellis working. Side to Elston, who now will exchange. Here's Carter. Crawford on the baseline decides to go ahead and take that 12-footer. Won't go for her, though. And then
nice hands by Perry Ellis.
Perry Ellis just hanging around and gets a steal and a bucket. Perry Ellis now with 4 points and her second steal of the evening. Yeah, I'm sorry, give her 6 points. Morehead State by 18. Now we're approaching 4.5-minute mark in the ball game. Callejon goes up. It's partially blocked, but they're going to get a foul. It's probably a pick 'em against Gabby Crawford or Elston. But we'll sort it out on the backside. 4:29 to go. MSU up 68-50 over Transylvania. Well, we got a moment. Let's look at the upcoming schedule for Morehead State. They've just added a game. They're going down to Nashville Thursday to play at Lipscomb. Don't know the time yet. Then Saturday, Bowling Green comes in here. And then on the 30th, we got Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, and then Murray State coming up on January 2nd. On the 7th, Tennessee Tech, as now we're in the thick of the Ohio Valley Conference race. So maybe we'll get a little semblance of schedule and routine in this COVID year. 1 of 2 from the free throws.
Yeah, I would say
Haywood.
With winter break being around, maybe not as many students. The team's pretty isolated. There may not be as much COVID troubles, but who knows?
That was good ball movement. Maybe just one extra pass too many, but here we come back the other way with Zenobia Walker in a hurry. Here's Haywood, Gracie Haywood from Greenup. A press shot. That was Elizabeth Hardiman, the senior from Winchester. Hardiman now had a nice night. She's got 11. Gabby Crawford going to work against a double team. Can't get it to go down on Hardiman with the rebound.
That's a nice strong rebound by Hardiman.
It was. It was 5 for her on the night. And Morehead State now just playing the string out. We got about 3.5 minutes to go, and they're up 15. But Transy trying to prove a point.
Yeah, there's no giving up now for this Transy team. They want to prove that they can compete with the Eagles and in Division I basketball.
Nice move by Jackson. Wouldn't go down for her. And then Jasmine Elston, a little bit out of control, went up against 2 players and then tried to trigger it back.
Looks like the basketball has been lost through the curtains.
And the basketball has gone to the concourse. So that's a turnover for Morehead State. They've got 15 on the night, which better than some of the numbers we have seen, but I know that Coach Todd and his staff would probably like to see that number a little less.
Yeah, not a lot of those have been forced turnovers. And
exactly. Like that. That's a careless turnover.
Right, exactly.
Walker going to try her luck down the lane. She dishes it off to Kaylin Jackson, and Jackson drills a three. Jackson now with 14. And going back the other way is Perry Ellis, pretty much going coast to coast with another two for her. She's got 8.
Yeah, we've seen that several times now from Perry Ellis, going coast to coast, not always getting the points, but definitely strong ball handling skills down the court.
Deep three from Walker is not answered. Here comes Perry Ellis back the other way. Almost loses control.
Nice
finds
pass.
Ariel Kirkwood all alone underneath. Hardman was trying to read the eyes of Perry Ellis, and she looked her off like a quarterback would, looking off a receiver off a cornerback. Then she found Kirkwood all alone underneath. Give Ariel Kirkwood 16 points on the night. Perry Ellis now with 6 assists. Jackson split 2 defenders, and pretty smart play. She was going up against Gabby Crawford, Crawford is a physical specimen. Hardeman's probably about the only one on the floor can match her physically size.
She is.
Jackson's pretty good size too, but she went right up under her body, and she didn't get a shot to go. But she's going to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Crawford. She's not only got the height with being 6'2", but you can tell she's been in the weight room. She's just physically strong and aggressive down there.
They gave the foul to Tyler Moore, the 5'10" redshirt senior from Portsmouth, Virginia. So Jackson at the line. Kaylin gets the first one to go. She's got 15 points. She's 3 for 3 on the line from the line tonight. Second one good. Jackson now is a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line on the season, which is not bad. 30-second timeout for Transylvania. We're going to keep it here with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. 72-57, Morehead State with the lead. And we were talking about a little bit ago during one of the breaks, you were kind of surprised, like some of the playing time that Morehead State has given some of the players, like I think we were talking about Elston.
Right, yeah.
That hasn't had a lot of minutes, and you're thinking maybe that Greg Todd has given a couple of his players some rest. Yeah,
Elston came to last night to Eastern Kentucky, and she showed that she can play and knock down those three-pointers. Played a lot of hard minutes in that game last night. You have to wonder what the thoughts are with tonight's game, maybe giving some extra breathing room with their 2 games later on this week.
Sure. I mean, you're going to play 3 games this week, so why not take a little extra time? This game is obviously you want to win them all, but this game doesn't really mean anything in the big picture. Wholesale substitutions: DeFore, Alfred, Kirkwood, Crawford, and Moore for Morehead State. Walker, Pelfrey, McDonald, Hardeman, and Otero for Transylvania. See Pelfrey in there. She just saw a little bit of action in the first half. The 5'9" freshman from Edgewood, Kentucky, Northern Kentucky. There's a sloppy turnover, and back the other way we go. Walker's in a hurry, tries to dump it off to Celia Pelfrey, and Kirkwood, who has been very active tonight, gets a steal.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Crawford and Kirkwood, both not fouling there on the other end, being patient and just getting their hands on the ball.
DeFore with a little runner, won't go down, but there is, couldn't see who that was. Might have been, it was Tamaya Alford with the putback attempt that wouldn't go down. Minute 15 to go, Morehead State 72-58 lead. Here's Walker, and a whistle and a foul. They're going to get Alford with a hand check. And that's Alford's 4th foul. Morehead State 7th of the quarter, so that'll send Zenevia Walker to the free throw line, where tonight she hasn't been, but she's a good free throw shooter coming in tonight at 79%. First one goes down.
Yeah, Morehead State picking up some fouls this quarter. Which, I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter as much like if it was the first quarter. But
a little lazy, a little sloppy, and everybody knows the game's pretty much out of hand, so it's easy to get a little lazy.
Right.
Walker converts them both. She's got 4. 72-60 Morehead State now with a lead of a dozen. Before it gets stripped, now the ball is loose. Alford tries to push the effort a little bit, and they give it to Transylvania. I thought it was off Alford, but I'm a long way away. DeFore will trigger for the Eagles.
Yeah, DeFore does a nice job of finding the open person on these inbounds plays.
Gabby Crawford just stepped in, and then she was called for the double dribble. She gave it like a power dribble and picked it up and then went and did it again, and you can't do that. It's a double dribble. That's 21 turnovers. I'm sorry, 16 turnovers for Morehead State. So now here comes Walker with Transy with a chance to get to within 10 points here, as we're under a minute at 45 seconds. Walker wheeling down the left side, goes up. She's not going to get the basket, but she's going to get a foul called, and I believe, if I'm right, that's on Tamaya Alford, and that'll be her 5th foul.
I think you're right there.
Alford fouls out with 2 points. She also ended up with 2 rebounds.
She's aggressive. She'll hustle after the balls, but unfortunately for her, this game is just not been good for her with the fouls.
Well, she had 52 steals last season, which led the Ohio Valley Conference, and she's a ball hawk, but a lot of times those type of players can end up in some foul trouble because they're so active on the defensive end.
You're right.
Walker's first one goes down, second one likewise. So good free throw shooting from Walker on the night. She's 4 of 4, and now all of a sudden Trancy's within 10 points. 40.4 seconds to go. Into the ballgame is Laurie Thomas, a 5'11 junior from Athens, Georgia. She's played 1 minute so far, so she's just now getting some action.
A lot of fresh faces for the Morehead State team this year.
Yep. And I think Morehead State, coming into the year, they knew they had a lot of new ones, but I think they like a lot of new ones. And there's DeFore. Morgan DeFore finally gets a three-pointer to go. And it's almost like, watch out, Katie barred the door. She's finally broken the ice. I would like to see him come in bunches for her.
Right. If you're a Morehead State fan, that's good news for the future upcoming games.
Shot won't go down. Here comes Darren Ziegler with the basketball. Over to DeFore, shoot it. Now she's looking over the bench. She's just going to let it go. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And the game's over. Final score with Morehead State winning 75-62. Leading the way was Carter with 18. Ariel Kirkwood had 16. Crawford had 11. Hardiman led the way for Transy with 11 as well. I'm sorry, Jackson led the way with 16 for Transy. And Elizabeth Hardiman had 11. Again, your final score tonight, Morehead State 75-62 for Transylvania. For Brooke Todd, I'm Dean Harden saying so long from Johnson Arena in Morehead, Kentucky. Again, your final. Morehead State wins this one 75-62. Reminder, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.